Podcast. My name is Elijah Evans, and I have my first interview of the 2024 draft class. I'm super excited to welcome on White Sox third round pick Nick McLain. We really appreciate him coming on, taking the time to talk about his game with us, a little bit of his background, and just give our fans a chance to get to know one of the recent draft picks. So appreciate you coming on, Nick. How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me, man. I'm pumped up.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We're excited. This is a fun time of year, right? We've been doing tons of draft coverage, all this stuff, just going through, the entire draft class one by one. We were covering it as it was coming in, so we're excited to get to know some of you guys and just see this class develop within the organization. So we'll start here, and then we'll go back a little bit further. But how was the draft process for you? Being a guy that played at different schools in college, and obviously your season was a little up and down, dealt with some injuries. How was kind of the last month of just getting prepared for the draft and the lead up to it for you?
Yeah, the last month I've kind of been staying over at Arizona State, Scottsdale. So working out, trying to hit, keep my arm, I guess, in shape, everything kind of. And yeah, I mean, the draft process itself. Uh, it was long and boring. Playing a region, I, I, I mean, I wasn't on or part of a team or organization for 7 weeks. Lost in May, and so it was a little different than most people. I mean, I'm that regional, and I got to stay sharp for a week or two more. But you replicate a real baseball game.
Yeah.
So getting back out to the organization for draft camp, it was the first day was a little hard for me just because 15. Uh, I went a little later than everyone. I signed a little later, and you know, but I mean, it's been awesome. And then draft day itself was just crazy. I mean, I didn't I had no idea what was really kind of going on. My advisors called me, um, I think on pick seven, first pick 75, 76,
Yeah.
and they're like, "You're getting picked." So that's kind of the information I had. White Sox called my name, and I was pretty jacked up to go to the Sox. Great organization, great spot to be.
That's awesome. Okay, so that's interesting that you kind of didn't really know it was coming. How much contact did you have with the White Sox and then with other organizations kind of leading up to that?
Yeah, so I talked to the White Sox area in the fall on a phone call, which was the last meeting out of I think 26 or 7 or something like that, and that was kind of it. And then John called me probably a month before the draft, talk, seeing what I'm doing, seeing what I'm up to, and that's kind of all I've heard from the White Sox. Fine, I had 15 meetings. The White Sox was not one of them.
Hmm.
So definitely wasn't expecting the White Sox. Matthew was the same way with the Reds. He didn't talk to anyone really.
Interesting.
Then Sean, I think the Dodgers talked a little bit more than the White Sox and Reds did for me and Matthew. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's funny when especially not one of the combine teams. I mean, that happens, right? I've talked to other guys in the past who have had similar situations where they don't necessarily know it's the team at all, and then it's a team they didn't even expect necessarily. So it's pretty funny how that works out. But hey, if it works, right? So you just mentioned your brothers briefly. Obviously, I'm sure you've been asked about this a lot, but like growing up with two brothers that were older than you, went through the process of college ball, draft, everything. How did that kind of change just your mindset and your outlook on baseball from a young age?
Yeah, I mean Matthew and Sean kind of carved a path for me. I guess they're my friend. I look up to both of them. I'm better than both of them, but the brothers they've uh, both career in college, and you know, they played a huge role in my success. And I was born left-handed, uh, and at a really young age, I saw them get right. My dad had I want to hit like them. So then for a while, all the way until about junior year of high school, I started hitting lefty again. But yeah, they're me, and they've helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool to have that kind of, that support system as you keep going and as you grow, right? And obviously motivation, like you said, to be better than them. That's always the goal for siblings, I feel like. Your college experience, right? Obviously, ups and downs. You dealt with some injuries throughout college at UCLA, and then you made your way to Arizona State. What was kind of just the biggest takeaways and lessons from a personal level and also just a baseball level that you got from everything in your experience in college?
This game's hard, that's for sure. I will say that. You got to be level headed. You got to be humble. You can mess around. I mess around with my close friends. I like to, you know, talk some smack and stuff like that. At the end of the day, whether I'm going good, I'm 0 for 15, 15 for 15. I'm most the same person I feel, whether I'm cheating or failing. And that's just a takeaway from everything. Healthy. I mean, easy. Baseball is a real sport. I've had a couple injuries. I not really like hamstring, what nothing like that, but just kind of injuries and staying healthy. I mean, 85% of the yeah.
Yeah, just keep grinding, right? I mean, that seems like the biggest takeaway just from that time, right? How are you feeling in terms of your health? Handmade injury this spring. You came back. You had a really good, that final stretch of the college season with Arizona State. Ended up putting up some great numbers. It looked like you were feeling well. But how's the handmade now and just your general health, kind of right at this point?
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's healthy. Ready to go. Nothing really more than that. Everything's good.
Good, awesome. That's great to hear. That's definitely what we want to hear. Okay, let's get into your game a little bit, just from a baseball perspective, right? So you talked about switch hitting a little bit. Is there at this point, at least as you're going into your professional career, do you have more comfort on either side of the plate, and kind of what do you feel are some of your main strengths at the plate right now?
Yeah, I think I don't have a side that's stronger. I know people think I'm a better left-handed hitter, but
Yeah,
I had even split for the most part. I think I had a higher average lefty because I have more bats. But um, yeah, so I switch hitting is kind of cool. But if I'm struggling righty, it doesn't necessarily struggling lefty. It's mono, but um, yeah, I mean, I guess I can say bat to ball guy, gap to gap to kind of hitter before power. Sure, I'd like to say I don't strike. I do not like striking out.
yeah,
Just obviously no one does, but yeah, I mean, I can impact the game. I'm pretty fast, and homers come when they come. I don't try and hit runs. I try to hit the ball hard in the gaps, up the hill, and kind of if I catch it right, it goes.
yeah. That's cool. To give you a little more, I know you're not going to give yourself as much shine here, but to give you a little more praise for the approach that you mentioned there. 33 walks, 27 strikeouts this year. It's definitely not a common thing for guys, and to have more walks and strikeouts as well as the 12 home runs. Right, you ran into some balls. You had that game. You had that stretch of 5 straight homer games. What was that stretch like for you? Because I know that was pretty. I was looking through some of your stuff when you got drafted, and I was like, that's a pretty fun stretch for you. I'm sure that week.
Yeah, I think I hit 8 and 9 games, but I'll just throw that out there. But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
started getting my hands started back. I was normal. Uh, I don't like to use the word hot. I was just kind of doing my thing. I was feeling good, seeing the ball big, and taking good aggressive. So but that was a good. I mean, everything was good about that. Awesome. We were killing teams, which was sweet. Uh, and yeah, I mean, just kind of the whole team was succeeding, and I kind of jumped on everyone's back, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Defensively, you played some center mostly with Arizona State, I believe, right? And then you've also played some corners. I know it's kind of obviously you are going to adjust. You're going to see what the team's looking at. Do you have an idea of where you think you'll play, and do you think the White Sox kind of have an idea of where they think you'll play long term?
Right now I'm kind of just going center to right, center to right. Just I don't know. I mean, I was a fielder my life, ended up playing right majority of the time, and I don't know. I never thought I'd love right field, but I did. Because I was always um, show off my arm strength, nice, and all that kind of stuff, and kind of get away from center for a bit, which was cool.
Yeah,
I haven't played left, but willing to do whatever the team wants me to do, whatever helps the team win. Uh, but yeah, I mean, hopefully, I'd love to put me in right, put me in right, put me in left. I don't care.
yeah. Feels like you can go wherever you need to go at that point, right? Um, do you? kind of off outside of baseball, right? Switching gears a little bit here. I always like to give people the chance to just share a little bit about themselves. What do you do kind of in your free time? Just things you enjoy to take a break. Obviously, baseball is a huge part of your life, of course, but things outside of the game that you enjoy.
Yeah, I love to golf. That was a thing. Me and my brothers, it's like one of our hobbies, I guess you could say, or a main hobby. Uh, my mom would drop us off at the local, uh, and we'd have lessons when we can go shopping and get rid of us for a little bit. And we're all pretty good. So that's what we do. I love going to the beach up in Orange County. Um, beach was a huge thing, and recently got fishing a little bit. But no, it's relaxing, I guess, after a long day.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like a pretty good hobbies to have. Golf's definitely the most common answer I'd say for most baseball guys. It's a pretty common trajectory I would say. But have you? So obviously you haven't been there for that long. But this draft class, it seems like there's a lot of guys that know each other, which is kind of cool. A lot of guys from summer ball, from the draft league, from a variety of stuff. Did you know anybody coming into this draft? And then just being there in the last recently, how do you feel just about the guys in your draft class?
Yeah, everyone's super cool. I kind of went in there. I I knew one person I played summer ball with, and that was the only guy I guess like
Yeah.
I've heard of some kids, and so it was kind of awkward for a little bit. Just, I walked in later than everyone, I guess you could say. So everyone kind of had some friendships going along, and I had to. I'm a pretty person, so it didn't take long for me to meet people and talk to guys. But everyone's super cool, super nice, and yeah, great group of guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. It seems like a really good group and an exciting time. Obviously, so you're in Arizona right now. Everybody's there for draft camp, working out with the organization at the complex. What do you think the rest of the season looks like for you? Obviously, we've heard rumblings. There's nothing confirmed yet, and the timeline can be tricky at times. So we get that, but it seems like a lot of guys will head to affiliates at some point. What do you think the rest of the next 2 months looks like for you?
Yeah, I know on Saturday the draft camp. The next week it goes to I think bridge camp they call it. It's live AB wet facing and some game situations. I think that I'll play a couple of those. I haven't played in 7 weeks, and hopefully I get out. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, hopefully I get to play some ball and go help a team in a playoff race.
Yeah, 100%, especially because there's obviously two of the different teams, Kannapolis, Birmingham, are both going to be in playoffs already. They clinched spots in the first half, so I think a big thing we're looking at is if some of the draft guys are going to get to go, be part of those playoff races because that's an exciting time, obviously. But it makes sense for you having 7 weeks of not having game ball that you got to get those live at bats first, get yourself in a rhythm. Going into just next year, we'll wrap on this. What are some big goals you have for yourself in terms of things you want to improve at, whether it's just specific mechanic things or just in general in your game, just things you're working towards over the next rest of the season and then on off season going into next year?
Yeah. Obviously, I want to win both as an individual and as a team. Winning makes every life easy and happy. So having a wherever I'm at, I want to bring a winning culture to the team and get in the play. Um, Individually, I don't like to put numbers on what I do. I take it day by day. Maybe by take swing at strikes, ball, uh, and kind of control what I can control, and that's going out and playing hard and bring my best to whatever I have that day to the table. So, you know, um, I'll throw a number. I'll get 20 stolen bases. That's the only thing I care about. I guess you can control that a little bit more than hitting 300 or something. So, uh, that's kind of all I got. Stuff to go out and play ball.
Yeah, interesting. That's cool. Anything the org has identified so far? I know you've barely been there, but anything they've kind of identified they want you particularly working on yet?
Not yet. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm on day 3 today, so
Yeah.
I think they know get my feet back wet. And we'll go from there. But we did some lab stuff today, or the other day, which is all like the biomechanics stuff. So
Right.
I'm kind of happy to get my results back in that and see what they see. Listen to some guys. You know.
Yeah,
go from
definitely. That sounds great. Well, we're super excited to see you grow within the organization. Obviously, best of luck with everything. We really appreciate you taking the time to just share a little bit about yourself, man.
yeah, thanks for having me. Awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much.